time.
How are you?
Oh, we waited for you. Because you're doing the invocation.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Just a consensus.
Yeah.
Well, Nick could have me do it.
That'd be cool. We could just do grace.
I was thinking Catholic, so I was like, do you want an Our Father, a Hail Mary? Like, I brought my books.
So can you say just a couple words to begin with?
Sure.
Okay. All right. It's a little after 4, so I'll call the Town Council meeting of Tuesday, October 11th, 2022 to order. And the first order of business is the invocation and the pledge.
All right, let us pray. Please, God, let us use our minds in a way to help the town move forward and for good weather and for health of everyone in our town.
Amen.
Amen.
Terry, you want to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and we've got a special this afternoon. We've got an oath of office for Heather Earhart being sworn in. So why don't you stand up? We'll do it right here in front of the...
Do I have to memorize something?
No, you're going to repeat after me. Okay. You'll say, I, Heather Earhart,
I, Heather Earhart,
do swear that I will support
do swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of Councilmember
execute the office of Councilmember
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and laws of this state.
and laws of this state.
Congratulations.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you, friend.
Welcome. And we need you to sign the oath of office, and I'll witness it.
I like that you guys got coordinating outfits.
I know, right?
He dressed me. He dressed me last week.
And I wouldn't even wear it on Saturday for the parade. Said I'll wait until I'm official.
Yes.
Okay, signed, and you are official. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Oh, there's Nick.
It's the voice for me.
Yeah. Where am I hearing?
Okay, moving on here, everyone should have received a copy of last month's minutes. Any comments, questions?
I move to approve the September 12th, 2022 minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much, and Heather, since you weren't here, you would...
Yep, I didn't say a word.
Yep. Okay, Angie, Treasurer's Report, please.
Yes, thank you. Our audit started 2 weeks ago and coming back to finish it up next week. So we should be getting our final financial statements in time for the end of October, and then he will be here in the November meeting to present the audit. And the only other information that I had was our short-term interest rate had increased a lot. So when you look at your reports, there's a lot of interest income, and I had to check the bank, and they said it was good. So they've gone up tremendously. So
Oh, that's
Oh, income to us, okay,
Yeah.
good.
nice.
Good,
Great.
very good news.
okay.
But other than that, unless you have any questions for me?
Any comments, questions? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to the Planning Department, Mike.
Good afternoon, members. So the planning commission did not have a meeting on September 19th. And currently, we have no items on the agenda for October 17th. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Okay. All right, moving on. Everyone should receive the police report. We have Corporal Roszell with us. Thank you very much, and I appreciate all the premise checks that you're doing around town. Any other comments?
No.
Okay, good. No problems at all. That's good to hear. So, any comments for Corporal Roszell?
Just echo the mayor, the premise checks, I like that, so your presence is out there, so I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay. And moving on to the town administrator's report, Laschelle.
Okay, I think we're right on time. I'll just give a little background and then we'll have the public hearing at 4:15. So we're almost there. So we have two ordinances that we advertised the public hearing for today. We introduced them at last month's meeting, which was ordinance number 211 for the development impact fees, and ordinance number 212 late fees for delinquent utility counts. So I'll just do a quick review, and then we can have the public hearing, and then once we come back out of the public hearing, you all can take action at this meeting if you so choose. So this ordinance was introduced at the September 12th, 2022 meeting and was advertised in the County Times on September 22nd, and we've had it posted on the town website. The town currently charges an impact fee for water, sewer, and the county's Board of Education fee. The water and sewer fees are directly tied to and reserved for paying for growth-related projects. These fees are assessed when projects are added to the town water or sewer system and did not have previous allocations. This increase that we're recommending follows the awarding of the contract to expand the wastewater treatment plant from the current capacity of 0.68 million gallons per day to 1 million gallons per day, which we issued the contract at last month's meeting. The total cost of the expansion is $18,066,289. However, $1 million of that cost is to flood-proof the existing plant, which is a benefit to all users of the system, not just the new users. And so we did not include that $1 million in calculating this impact fee increase. We anticipate getting 992 additional EDUs that will be gained from the expansion for future projects. So the new fee we've calculated at $18,000 would be charged to any project that has not been allocated sewer capacity prior to its effective date of the ordinance, which would be 20 days if you vote on it today, which would be October 31st. Our previous impact fee increase for sewer was in January 2007 for the ENR upgrade. And again, the reason we collect the impact fee is specifically for growth-related projects. So the cost of these expansion and growth-related infrastructure is not passed on to the current residents using the facilities. So it's strictly paid for by the growth-related projects. The second, ordinance 212, is for late fees for delinquent utility accounts. This ordinance was also introduced at the September 12th, 2022 meeting. The public hearing was advertised in the County Times on September 22nd and also has been posted on the town website. As described in the memo that we attached in your packet, it is a very lengthy multi-contact effort that we put into any late utility bills prior to shutting off a utility. It's very labor intensive, and for the last 22 plus years, we have been charging $25. I would remind you that we bill in arrears. The previous quarter is already passed. You get your utility bill, and we don't do shut-offs until the end of that next quarter. So it's 2 whole quarters. And as described in the memo in your packet, we had about 200 late notices this last period. they received phone calls, they received emails, late notices in the mail, and then when it gets whittled down to right before the shut-off, they actually get personal phone calls also are tried to be made. So we make every effort to try and reach out to the customer before shutting them off. Then once they go on the shut-off list, a staff member has to go off, shut off the utility, and then go back out once it's paid and shut it back, turn it back on. So it's very costly, and I would remind you also that in FY 21, 22, and 23, we did not increase our utility fees as far as your monthly charges. We kept them steady all 3 years, so that is really offsetting this late charge increase is really strictly for the people who are not able to pay their payments, and we have not increased anything with our utility billing for the rest of the residents the last 3 years. And we also, if there is a hardship, we do work with the customer, make a payment plan. I think that we are more than fair in looking at what other utilities are charging. This is even $75 that we're proposing that it goes to is very much lower than any other utility around us. So that's kind of an overview. If you want to go ahead and go into the public hearing and see if we have anybody.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing and open the open meeting. Yeah.
All right, so I move to close the regular meeting and open the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay. Just kind of go over what Laschelle said again. This, well, as far as the impact fee.
Do we have to vote?
Oh, vote to close. Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Sorry about that.
Thank you. As far as the impact fee goes, you know, this is simply for new growth.
Right.
You know, we have not raised property taxes since I've been mayor for 10 years now, so just want to make sure people do understand that. If we didn't do it, we would have to charge everyone, so we don't want to do that, so that's why it is increasing simply the impact fees. So did we receive any comments?
We did not receive anything.
Okay. Anyone here today would like to comment on either the ordinance number 21-211 impact fees or the 212 late fee for the delinquent utility accounts? Okay, hearing no comments, we can go ahead and open the regular meeting and close the public hearing. All in favor?
Do we need to make?
Oh, need a motion.
Okay, so I move to close the public hearing and open the regular meeting.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so again, we introduced this ordinance last month. The first one, we'll take these one at a time. The development impact fees would be to raise the current impact fee for sewer to $18,000 from the current $13,000 that we have had in place since 2007. And we do an EDU report that tracks our allocations, and as of the effective date of this ordinance, anything that had not been allocated previously would start paying this impact fee increase.
Christy, since you're with the county, do you know what the county's impact fees are for water and sewer?
Put me on the spot. We have, ours are separated out a little differently. It's different for residential and commercial. And I'd kind of be guessing, no, you're fine, I can look it up. But I think the total of a water and sewer commercial EDU, I think, is very close to what our combined total is.
Will
So
be the 18.
it's not out of line.
No, yeah, it's very close to about the same. And then with these big plant upgrades, I mean, there's not a whole lot.
We increased the water last year or the year before, I think it was 2019, in anticipation for the water tower that we are going to be constructing. So, you know, I think we've done a good job over the years sticking to this policy and making sure that we are collecting the fees and paying for the infrastructure with the new growth. And additionally, I would add that what we've done always is, since 2000, is we have developer agreements for any of the large developments that they agree to a certain number of EDUs that they will pay for each year. So we have a consistent income. So even if they don't sell enough houses that year, they will purchase, it's usually 30, 35 EDUs per year per development. Right now we're collecting from Clark's Rest and Meadows 1. We'll be adding Meadows 2 onto that. So we have enough impact fees that we are guaranteed to know that we're going to be able to pay our debt service with that. Any questions?
Any other comments, questions?
I just think as far as the late fees for the utility accounts, I think 75 is very reasonable on that, and our staffs also were very accommodating to the town residents. So I think $75 is very reasonable.
And we understand it's a tough economy right now, and people
Right.
are hurting. However, I think the utility bill staying constant for the last 3 years is more important. And not that this isn't an impact to people, but we will work with them. And I think we have a responsibility also to try and cover the staff time that is put into it as well.
About how many do we have every quarter?
Shut-offs,
about?
like maybe 10.
Okay.
But like I said, we start at like 200 late notices
Right.
go out, and then we just kind of keep
Right.
whittling it down.
Well, that's
from
good.
there.
I mean, that shows that you guys work
Yeah.
with everybody.
And I think, Laschelle, I'm sorry, I'm jumping in between the two. Now I'm going back to the other one, the impact fees. When Rodney was here at the last meeting, and I think you just said it again just a few minutes ago, how does that work for Meadows too? Like when he starts that, is he going to be paying the new one? Or?
So he's been allocated the first 75 for phase 1.
Okay, that's right.
So he would pay the old fee, but anything going forward, the rest of the development is going to be at the new fee,
Okay.
$18,000. And all of their water impact fees are at the higher rate, which was passed in 2019.
Okay.
Are there any other developers that are in that kind of going to be doing a little bit of
Like that
both?
window. Yeah.
Or is that the only one?
No, that's the only one.
Okay.
Roszell, how do the EDUs work for the apartments? How are those counted?
It's 0.75 for
Okay.
1 and 2 bedroom apartments, and then for 3 bedroom apartments, it's 1 full EDU.
Okay, thank you.
So the 75 that we agreed a few meetings ago to allocate for the phase 1 will cover the 1 apartment building.
Okay.
And the rest of the development they're doing in phase 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So like I said, let's take action just
Good.
on ordinance 211 first,
Number 211, right.
which is the impact fee.
You care to make a motion?
I can do it.
Okay.
I move to approve ordinance number 211, chapter 62, development impact fees to increase the impact fee from $13,000 to $18,000 per EDU.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Okay, and then the second ordinance number 212 is the late fees for delinquent utility accounts. Again, we covered all of that, so if you have any questions on that one specifically.
I move to approve ordinance number 212, late fees for delinquent utility accounts.
I'll second. Sorry. You can give it to Nick. That's fine.
No argument.
Okay, motion and second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna pass the ordinances and the minutes around for signature. Okay, my next item is ordinance number 213. Is just an introduction. This is for the Code of Ethics for the town of Leonardtown. The state of Maryland has notified us that they are making required modifications to the ethics ordinance across the state. Our town attorney has prepared ordinance number 213 to meet those requirements and has also submitted it to the ethics board for approval at the same time. So by the time we vote on this next month and hold a public hearing, we'll know that it has been approved by the Ethics Board for Maryland and meets all the requirements. So if you go through the ordinance in your packet, anything bolded and underlined is new, and then there are strikeouts for what's being changed. So it's really adding additional requirements each year. We have our own ethics board, and each elected official, as well as myself, we have to complete the packet that talks about any conflicts that you may have or any investments that you have, that sort of thing. And then the board meets and reviews those, and they have to get submitted to the state. You don't submit the actual you just submit a report saying that everyone has reviewed them on the Ethics Commission. So we're introducing this ordinance number 213. We will be advertising the public hearing for next month, and that it also will be on the website for people to review if they want to take a look at it.
And just again, this is required by the state of Maryland, so.
The next item is a liquor license letter of support for the expansion at Ruda Garden at Shepherd's Old Field. The Ruda Garden is on the liquor board agenda for this month to extend the premises of their Class D license to the approved expansion of their kitchen and second-story service area. The Planning Commission approved the expansion project at their June 21st, 22 meeting. And there were drawings in there showing that it's a small bump out of the kitchen, but there will be service area on the second floor, so they need to be, which they already have, but this is expanding it. And this would be just a liquor license letter of support for the liquor board to expand that current license.
Any comments, questions?
It's a 2-floor addition? Or?
Yes.
Got it.
They have a little second story kind of up
Right.
behind the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of bumps out that toward Bartholomew Street.
Okay.
The drawing just kind of has a little hand drawing
Got it.
in there, but it's 2 stories.
So the bump out is the first and second story?
Yes.
Okay, coming up.
It's just that little tiny.
All right.
Are they adding restrooms? Is that what this is
no.
showing? No?
Not in this.
Restrooms were in this one.
Not in this. They added restroom in the back of the building. Correct. Oh, in this part?
In this-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
it's under area of new
And
construction.
this is
keep up with her.
this is
That'll
on
be
the
nice.
other side, right? This isn't where that smash burger, the old Botanic is
It's
it?
right adjacent to Bartholomew Street.
Okay.
Yeah, where the kitchen is now for
Yeah.
Brew, it just bumps out toward Bartholomew.
Okay.
It's a 13 by 40.
I did pay attention at our planning and zoning.
Yeah, the extra bathroom would be nice.
And they added one, I think, on the other end too, when they did the tanning.
They won't have to use they can keep the shepherds, I guess, closed then,
Right.
because then they'll have bathrooms within
Oh,
the
yeah.
facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty wise.
That makes sense.
All right, well, I move to approve a liquor license letter of support for Ruda Garden LLC's request to expand their Class D license into the new kitchen and second story addition at their current location at 22725 Duke Street.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
Okay, the next item is the Rex expansion liquor license letter of support. The Rex is completing renovations to the existing theater space in their building, and they are requesting a liquor license letter of support to expand their existing Class D license into that space. They are also on the agenda for this month.
Comments, questions?
No, it's very exciting.
Yeah. It's gonna
So is
look
it gonna
nice.
be theater space? What are you
Joe, you want to
gonna
talk
be?
about
Yeah.
it?
Oh, is Joe here?
Use it?
Okay.
Yeah, he's hiding in the.
The current plan is to do events and, concerts. They'll be able to be rented out for weddings and
Awesome.
parties for base or whatever else.
That's
Good,
great.
good.
That's awesome.
All right. I move to approve a liquor license letter of support for the Rex's request for an extension of premise of their existing Class D license.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any additional comments, questions? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
Okay, the next item is an easement that has been requested on a 10 and a 15-foot pathway that the town owns to access our sewer line that goes across Breton Bay Drive, properties along Breton Bay Drive. In December of 2014, Mr. Alex Delude purchased the property at 22555 Breton Bay Drive. There was an old pier on the property when he purchased the home. When he went to sell the property recently, it was discovered that the pier was actually built at the base of a 10-foot path that the town was deeded to the town in the 1980s. And there's also a 15-foot path that goes across the north part of his property, which is behind his house. And there's a shed, and part of his driveway is within that 15-foot path. A recent survey that's included in your packet shows the pathways. To resolve this issue, the town attorney has been working with staff to give an easement to Mr. Delude to be able to use his property as he has been since 2014. Excuse me. But it would preserve our ownership of the property and access to our sewer line if we ever need access to that sewer line. So the buyer, the current buyer, the seller, Mr. Practice here is the next door neighbor, and the realtor has reviewed it. Our attorney has written the easement, and the seller, Mr. Delude, is actually going to pay the attorney fees, but our attorney did prepare it, and it makes sure that we do still have access to our sewer line. We will still own the 10-foot and the 15-foot path. We're just giving an access easement to the pier on the 10-foot path, and also taking away any liability that the town has for the pier. And all the responsibility for any repairs to the pier is that of Mr. Delude or any owner after him. And then the 15-foot path granting him access to continue to use his shed and driveway, but we would still, again, own the property still as we have since the 80s. And I think that's, he does have a requirement in here that if the property sells, we do have to be notified so that we can track the easement and who has access to it. Any questions? I think, Mr. Patch, you're comfortable with this now? After?
Yes, thanks to everybody's help, the mayor's, yours, and the survey mayor's. We're okay as we understand this, correct me if I'm misstated, so it's essentially just allowing them continued access to that area. There's no other impact beyond it. They're not going to build any structures. Yeah. There's no restrictions on that property other than allowing them to have access.
It would stay like it is, has been for many years. We own the property. It's not a public use property. It just allows them to continue to use their pier and their shed and driveway, and that they have all the responsibility for it, and we don't have the responsibility for it.
Thank you all very much.
Yep.
The attorney did confirm we don't have to worry about the pier.
Correct. It's all
covered in that number 8, I
yes.
think.
And I did email him after the workshop and made sure he was comfortable with that everything is covered, and he feels very comfortable with it. And everyone else is satisfied as well, so that's a win-win for everybody, I think. I mean, it's unfortunate, and as a government entity, we cannot give away property, so, and unless we can show that it is not used, and we don't have a use for it anymore, and we cannot show that because who knows, someday we may have to access the sewer line. So we continue to have the ownership, but he can continue to use the property as he has been, so.
And there's no public access to it. So.
Just for this column.
That's right.
So does the easement cover the whole, our whole piece of property covered?
Yes.
Okay.
Both
So it wasn't,
pieces,
it's not just a little portion of it?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
It's an easement to use that whole 10-foot path or that 15-foot
Okay.
path.
Got it.
now the 15-foot path extends past his property, so he has access to the portion that is adjacent to his property.
Perfect.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So that technically runs behind both of those homes, right?
Correct.
So it's Breton Bay Drive to, what is it, Camelier?
Camelier.
Okay. I thought so.
But he has access just to the part that's adjacent to his
Behind,
property.
okay, yep.
Any questions?
All right, I move to approve an easement for the property owner at 22555 Breton Bay Drive to utilize the 10-foot and 15-foot paths adjacent to the property.
I'll second.
Motion and second, further discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The last item on the agenda is for Clark's Rest Subdivision. Phase 3, 4, and 4A water, sewer, and storm drain has been completed and inspected and is ready for acceptance into the town system. And then once we accept that into our town system, there is a 2-year maintenance bond period. We've already taken over 1, 2, and 2A. And so the only thing we'll have left, we've already taken the roads over in those 3 as well. So the only thing outstanding that we have bonds on is the roads in 3, 4, and 4A.
This doesn't have any pump stations. That was all in an earlier phase.
There is one in phase 3, but we already took that over
Okay, got it.
previously. And actually, that was 2 years ago we took it over. Last week, I released the maintenance bond on that, so the 2-year maintenance bond was up, and we hadn't had any problems with it.
Good.
Okay. Comments, questions?
I move to accept the water, sewer, and storm drain system in Clark's Rest Phase 3, 4, and 4A to the town system and transfer to a 2-year maintenance bond.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Okay, so just a couple little updates. We are working very hard on Town Alley. It's looking so good. The North End Gallery 2 murals are going to be installed this week on Thursday and Friday. We are scheduling a ribbon cutting for those murals on November the 3rd. I think it's going to be around 2 o'clock. I'll be sending out invitations on that and advertising that. We do have some state officials from the Maryland State Arts Council and the Arts and Entertainment Districts who gave $25,000 toward that particular mural. They're going to be in town, so we thought that was a good day to have the ribbon cutting as well. North End Gallery has a board meeting that day, so a lot of their board members will be in town as well. So we hope everyone can join us for that. We should be wrapping up most of the construction in the alley within the next couple weeks. Paving is going to be the first of next week. And so we look forward to that. It's turning out really nice. And we had a meeting last week with the marketing committee and LBA board looking at next year events that we would, scheduling of events for next year and the types of events. And we had a lot of discussion of how that alley would be used, and it's certainly not meant to take away from the square, but to enhance the user's experience for all the parking that's back there. If you're walking through there, we could have small events back there. We hope to really focus with arts-related events and small, demonstrations and that sort of thing. So we, have more improvements we want to make to it, but the basic infrastructure and the 3 mural locations will be all complete, hopefully within the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
There's a lot of work.
Any questions on any other projects? Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Moving on to my report. Joe, anything going on with the LBA?
The main focus of late has been just the events. Like Laschelle said, we met with the marketing committee and we are coming up with the plan for the year for all the different things we're doing and scratching some and building new ones. Very exciting. There's a lot of good ideas and a lot of things I think people are going to like, as well as spreading the wealth and getting things, all the way out towards the winery and the new Town Alley, which I think is a great addition to town, and focusing some of the events on retail as well, and doing an open call to our business association itself for anybody who wants energy or resources put towards what they do in Leonardtown. So we're really trying to talk to everybody, and we have a lot of momentum. The bar crawl was another big success. We have the Reagan years this weekend. We'll be presenting an award to Jimmy Hayden for his sponsorship at the concert, and then we'll have a check for Clemens Cuties for some money we raised. So a lot of momentum, a lot of good things going on, and again, trying to get everybody involved and on the same page.
Yep. Good.
Thank you.
And actually, I'm a member of Rotary. We meet here on Thursday mornings, and I've asked Joe, we're going to have a quick meeting, and then going to go over and tour the Rex and the new theater. And we're actually doing it for Marie and Nash, also going to take Rotary over, and so they can see that. So. Yeah. So we'll probably look at doing other things like that also, so get people out. So. Okay. We'll go ahead and move to council reports, events. I know, I was going to say, actually, Joe, why don't you talk about this past weekend, all the events that took place?
Well, we had good weather. That's the greatest event we can have.
Yep.
And we filled up the town with the bar crawl, and everybody had different flavors of German entrees and beers. And then we had a nice little parade with a dog contest where Laschelle and I were some of the judges.
They were cute.
It was a very busy weekend in town.
I know our daughter and son-in-law and the kids, they rode the trolley out to the winery, then downtown, and then, of course, back to Clark's Rest where they live. So.
Yeah, we actually heard from some customers that it was a thing, it's actually a thing, that they came to town to ride the trolley with their kids.
Yeah,
So,
you
that's cool.
see pictures of that.
And
Yeah.
they didn't even know the parade was going on, and they ended up watching the parade, but that was their thing for the weekend. They're coming to town to ride the trolley, so that's pretty cool to hear.
Yep.
I have a nephew that comes like multiple times every weekend to ride it. They love it. Kids love it. Me too.
Okay. Nick, community development and planning. Okay. I'm sorry. We're going to go back to events. I thought you were saying you didn't.
She's
okay.
ready.
All right.
Got it.
Let's go.
I have some notes.
Okay.
Well, Jay and I had the opportunity to walk in the parade on Saturday. So that was pretty cool, and it seems like everybody wants to bring that back again. So next year. Yeah, and I saw you guys walking past the Rex. The Brew Garden was pretty happening and packed there Saturday. And then I finished up, luckily, at the Rex, which was really nice, and they said that it was pretty much the whole day, just up and down. So, and what'd you say, Jay? Friday, there was like no parking to be found in Leonardtown.
Friday was packed. It was a good evening in Leonardtown, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the Port of Leonardtown was really packed. So the next big thing is, right, the Reagan years you mentioned, and then also on the 22nd, the Port of Leonardtown, Beetlejuice will be shown, and now we're going to have a lot of fun kids activities. Lastly, another thing to keep on the radar is the Veterans Day Parade, the shall confirm, a 9:45 kickoff time for folks to see the parade. So hopefully everybody can get out. It's the biggest Veterans Day Parade in all America.
Correct.
So
yes.
I did
Okay.
it.
Very good. Thank you very much. Now, Nick, community development and planning.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I really don't have too much to report on. We had 12 permits and 8 UNMs come through last month. As Joe mentioned, this past weekend was just a blast in town. I especially wanted to mention to anyone, if you haven't been in town yet, please be sure to check out all the scarecrows. There's over 60 entries. It seems every day there's more that I haven't even seen yet, but it's really neat. There's some amazing entries. Everybody did a great job. And I think people were really enjoying it. Friday night was actually in town, and I saw just so many people going out and taking pictures with them, so it was really neat. So I hope everybody enjoys it. And I think that's actually all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Utilities, Christy.
I don't really have any update. The Route 5 widening is
continuing. It looks like they're working on yeah, they're getting there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nice to see the sidewalk and everything going in. And I think they're doing a fairly good job of keeping everything moving along as much as they can. But just make sure everybody drives safely and slowly through there.
Just, I'll make a comment on that. We get comments on the construction and comparing it to the new nice bridge that's going up. Well, coming back from Virginia, I had to sit in that line over there for half an hour the other day. So,
Yeah,
nice.
it's a mess that way too.
Yeah.
We were in Virginia this weekend for a wedding. It was a mess, but yeah, they're moving along, so it's good to see that hopefully wrapping up sooner than later. And then that's all I have.
okay. Southern Maryland Municipal Association, Jay.
All right, Mayor, thank you. So I attended, along with Mayor Burris and Laschelle were there at the Maryland Municipal League Fall Conference in Annapolis. So it was a great turnout. So it was a total of 308 registered, which I was pretty impressed with for the fall conference. And they said with speakers and exhibitors, it was 340. So that was a pretty good turnout. Yeah. And then yesterday evening in Annapolis, we had a very nice send-off for Scott Hancock for his 27 years of service. So he did a great job. He'll be missed in that role. I've really enjoyed working with him since, I forget when I started, like 2016, 2017, but it's been good. So wish him the best. As far as our Southern Maryland Municipal Association Southern Maryland chapter meeting, our goal was to have one at the conference. That did not work out, so North Beach is trying to find a place to hopefully soon host one. So I just don't know when yet, so I'll keep everyone updated on that.
And the new director of
Teresa Coons, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was actually at our first meeting on Sunday, so she's very engaged. She's ready to kick it off. So
and she was director of Southern Maryland Realtors Association, so we do have a in with her.
Yep,
So.
yep. So she's, I guess our first meeting with us will be we have a retreat coming up in the Inner Harbor. It's the first time I think we've done the Inner Harbor. That's in December 2nd, so she'll be there. What else did I have here? And just to echo what Nick said about the scarecrows, I'm really impressed with that this year. The engagement and the amount of people, they put a lot of work in those. They look really good. So I really appreciate everyone that participated in that. And just to echo again what Laschelle said, Belltown Alley looks great.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see that done. So
2 lights were lit up this weekend.
Yes.
So the rest, we're waiting for the tops, the lighting looms for the rest of the lights, but.
yeah.
And then the paving next week is going to look fabulous. The murals.
It's flowing perfect because I parked in that back parking lot Friday night, and just to walk that way, it's just perfect.
It's inviting and
Yep.
open.
Yep.
Yeah. Looks great.
Yep. So thank you. And that's all I have.
Okay. Mary, Business Development and Retention.
And I'm also going to start on with the scarecrows. I love seeing the small businesses that are represented. And I walked around the other night and just kind of looked, and I was like, all these different businesses that came out of the woodwork. I was trying to come up with a, Blanche scarecrow for next year. So we'll see if we can get my little one-eyed dog out there, in some form. I actually had a vision. I said I'll have like a pile of ash because smoking's bad for scarecrows, right? So that was anyway. So we could ash with a cigar. And I think today was Amazon Prime Day, which and tomorrow, okay, which is a great reminder to everybody that you need to shop local for these small businesses. If we keep buying things on Amazon, the small businesses are not going to survive. If the small businesses don't survive, then we don't have Leonardtown. Then we don't have people that are going to be able to sponsor the baseball teams and the drama club and everything else local. So, really encourage you guys. There's a lot of great things out there. There's a new clothing store that's just opened up in the hotel, over there at Maria Nash. There's some great places to do local shopping. So even though Amazon's coming up and there's good deals and they're offering that prime shipping, remember, if you buy there, you're not supporting local business. So please think of Leonardtown when you're doing your Christmas shopping. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. And one other thing is the old Bank of America building. That is up for bids now. I think December 7th is the deadline for bids. So had some calls on that already. So people are interested. So
Good. That's great.
Yep. Okay. Anybody have anything else? If not, I would entertain a move to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Laschelle, do we need to hold on to the ethics for next